take a moment and show you something that's really important in this technique. And that is when you've picked up the live stitches from your provisional cast-on, you need to be sure that they are not twisted. If you look at these stitches, you can see that each one of them is mounted with the right leg of the stitch going to the front of the needle. So I hope you can see that there. And I'm going to show you an example of how it looks when you haven't mounted them correctly too. Okay, let's take a look at this little swatch for whether or not the stitches are mounted correctly. We can look at each one, see that the front stitch is, or the front leg is going off to the right, except wait a second, on this middle stitch here, you'll see that the leg of the stitch that's to the front is going to the left. That's mounted incorrectly. If you run into that when you're picking up your stitches, please go right back and reverse it around. And in a moment I'll show you, and then you can slip the others back. I'll show you why this is so important in this technique. All right, here's our little swatch, and I've knit away from the live stitches as you would for the cowl. At one step in the cowl, you're going to want to unravel this waste yarn, and you're going to want it to all come out in one fell swoop. This is the swatch where all of the waste yarn stitches were mounted correctly, and you can see they're lying nice and flat. So what happens when I pull the end and unravel? Comes out like a champ. Okay, here we have my other little swatch in which I, on purpose, mounted one of the stitches, one of the live stitches that I released from the provisional cast-on improperly. And then when I knit the swatch, I just knit into that as though it were mounted properly. What that does, and you can see it right here, is it creates a twisted stitch. You see how the legs are crossed. And what does that do for us when it's time for us to have this seamless unraveling of our waste yarn? Let's find out. Oh, look at that. It has created a little knot, really, almost like a back stitch between these two stitches, and no longer will that pull out easily. That'll cause a problem when it's time to get rid of your waste yarn after you've grafted your cowl together. So please take care when you mount those live stitches. Mount them properly, and things should go smoothly for you when you're ready to unravel your yarn.